Okay, welcome to Selenium Homework 1 under session 2. And you can read the left side if you're wondering where Homework 1 is and where it's all located from the dependencies and everything else. All right, so the package is various concepts. We've imported test before, after, and assert for JUnit. Then we got our Java utility current, time unit, and this requires stuff for Selenium, by, WebDriver, web element, and Chrome driver. This is web element is here because I did some web elements. Then of course we need the WebDriver for stuff to work, and also the by and the Chrome driver. So here we go, public class homework1, the WebDriver driver, I made it static. Okay, so here's the before. This is basically our Chrome setup, and I even commented it out. So we're doing a public void init. We got the Chrome setup. We're first defining the WebDriver. The properties, it's chrome.driver, and the local path of my computer or desktop is here. We got the driver equals new Chrome driver. We got the very important delete all the cookies after you run each test. We don't want to have new code and then have this break because we never clean the cookies out. Driver.get, this is the website for the URL. Manage, we want to maximize the window. Driver.manage, our implicit wait time, 10 or 20 seconds. You can do whatever, but I think 10 or 20 seconds is probably best practice. Now we're coming into our test. And here's where you can see I did web element, and I just did some driver defined elements. I did both because you can do it either way, and I thought it would be good to show that both ways work. All right, so our first part, we're doing the web element. We're defining the username, driver.find element, and the XPath is input ID username, then the password, and then the sign in button. And now I will show you manually where it is under incognito mode. I can't use the regular browser because I've been testing a lot and it will probably be signed in. Okay. All right, so this is the portal. Manually going to do inspect. And you can see it down here. It's telling you name as username and ID as username. And then we'll go down to the password. And it's showing you the same thing. Name is password, ID is password. So it's telling you the ID is the password and the name is the password. And if we go to the sign in button, it's also showing you the same thing, ID, login, and submit, and it's also type submit. So if we go back here, you can see input, it's input, the ID is username, ID again, it's password, and ID is login, submit. And here's the ID again, just to show you, login, submit. Okay, so let's log in to go further. Now, depending on your how many people are hitting this dashboard, it can, as you can see, log in pretty fast, or it can take a while to log in. Sometimes it's really slow, kind of annoying, but we got lucky, it's pretty fast. So to the assignment, we have to get down to deposits. This is the drop down in our left side. You need the browser to kind of hang out, because if you don't do any wait times, the browser is not going to work when even if you have the right code, it's just going to hang because it needs some time to be like, yeah, I need to hang out and be able to hit transactions. I can't just do it without a wait time. So we click transactions and we come here to transactions. You see how it says spam transactions. So spam is actually a text, and I got thrown off. I had no idea. I didn't know it was a text, and I didn't really know what to do, but thankfully in the class, and even when we started Java, we were told use Google, it's your best friend, and did Google, went to Stack Overflow, and a developer, or some developers, that actually explained it, and they even gave you how you need to write it to find the XPath. So we can do Control F. So if you're wondering how you get the XPath, it's right here and here. So you just want to copy the first one for transactions. Come here. And there you go. Put in this thing, as it wasn't Stack Overflow. Of course, Stack Overflow didn't give you the whole thing, like you need to put transactions. You have to copy in what you're actually looking for. But when you copy that in, it tells you right there. And then if you want deposits, not password, click right here and you see deposits. You come here and go back to, I've copied in everything into a text notepad so that it's easier to explain to the class for the video. Copy paste, and there you go, here's deposit. So now we go back to Eclipse, and you can see here that it tells it first. So we're coming in, we've sent the keys, we're logged in. We told it to wait 20 seconds because we need to wait, otherwise the browser is going to have some issue. It can't just instantly say, hey, go to transactions, go to the deposits, and go to the form. It's not going to work. I actually did that, and I found out that doesn't work. So here we have the driver.find element. Here's your XPath, and here's what it just showed you. And you have to do .click because obviously we're clicking. When you click, we're doing another wait 20 seconds. The browser has to wait. It cannot just get to deposits right away. It is going to have some issue. It's not that your code is wrong. You just need to wait. So once you wait 20 seconds, you're going to put in the one for the deposit, and then you're going to tell it click because we have to get to the form. All right, so here's testing deposits. So you got testing deposits, public void testing deposit. Now we're going to test the deposit form. Again, we're going to wait 20 seconds, let the form open up. And now we're going to come here and we have the XPath input at name equals name dot send. We're sending Jack Smith. And you guys might see a lot of Jack Smiths because that was me testing for a few days over and over. And then driver.find element, the amount 2400. So now we're going to go here, show it to you manually first. Waiting for it to load. And there we go. And as I mentioned earlier, here's Jack Smith over and over. That was me testing with the default bank and the date that was default at the time of testing. We come here, we're going to inspect it, source. And let's see if it went to the thing, and it hasn't gone there yet. Okay, here we go. So the user thing is name, and it's telling us here to enter personal username, and the user's name and name equals name. So that's the thing here. So we go here, we can see that it's input type at name equals name. That was the thing. Now if we go back for the next part for filling out the form, it is telling us amount. Here you go. It's input and the value is name equals amount. So where is it? Go back here. Here we go. Name equals amount. And then we're doing a send key of 2400. Then we have to use an assertion. So basically I put in an assertion. It's telling you look for the strong contains text add deposit. And if it's not there, it will say deposit page not found. And then you can't submit it because we ran into an error, basically. Deposit page dot is displayed. So this page needs to show before you can, after it fills in the name, puts in 2400 with the default date and bank, it will not submit this form if this page is not showing. And we go back to the code. And now we have to submit the form by this XPath with the button .click. And I'll show you the XPath in a second. Then we're waiting 20 seconds. So now we go back to our code. We're going to click this little pointy thing, go here, and here's it's a type submit, and here's this BTN primary. You got to put that in. So come here, and it is right here. And if you go put that into the inspect element, you'll actually see it. But for time's sake, so this video doesn't go on forever, we're just going to show you this. Okay, so we wait 20 seconds after we submit it because it needs some time to think before it just does it. And then after it's the close browser public void end. Again, I did 20 seconds, so you can get lucky and see that green checkbox mark comes in when you submit Jack Smith. It's very hit or miss. Either you will see it or the browser closes and you don't get to see it. But we know the code is working because, as I said, you can see Jack Smith like 10 or 12 times already on the right side. Just to give you a manual and physical overview, here's Jack Smith. And if you even go down, you can see it submitted a lot, and you keep going until we see Jovan has done his code. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 19 times. And we're about to get 20 when we run this in a second. Okay, so that's the code in a nutshell. Now let's run the code and show you that it does work, doing it via automation. All right, let's play. Here we go. and we're just waiting on TechBIOS. There we go. Now we may not see green check mark, but sometimes you get to see it. Okay, I did add it. You could see it moved, but like I said, you don't get that lucky to see that green little tick that says you have. But we also know it works because there are no errors showing up on our right. But we can also do visual inspection if we want. So we can go back into TTO mode here, and we'll close this out. We already did inspect element, and we'll just do refresh. See if it will refresh here. Okay, so the last one is right here. So this one, it just submitted this. All right, so now we have 20 entries of Jack Smith. All right, well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope the inspect element was helpful to you guys as well. Again, if you don't understand what span is, Google it, and it will help you save a lot of time because, like mentioning before, I didn't know what it was, and Stack Overflow really helped a lot. And even if you have, like, we all have I think groups formed by now, still Googling something would not only help you, it will help the group when someone runs, if someone does run into that issue in your group, you'll be able to say, here's a website or here's how you do it. All right, till session, I guess, till we see you again.